Hello and welcome to PlayStation Racer. In this video I'm going to be looking at the time challenge that is set each week. So if we just go into sport mode, we've got the online time trial here. This week we're running on the Nürburgring Grand Prix track and we're running in the Porsche Cayman GT416 with sports hard tyres, so it's almost like a road car. And you can see here that the world record at the moment is 2 minutes 10.380. And we need to get a certain percentage within that time to get a bronze, silver or gold medal. So at the moment on the right hand side there you can see all of the rankings, and you can see that my record is a 2:15.5 and I'm 3.97% off of that time. It does give me a silver medal. Now, one of the things with this track is there's a lot of people online on YouTube, good drivers, that say this is the easiest way over a few minutes to make 2 million credits, and 2 million credits is attractive within this game. And you can see there that for 2 million credits we need to get a time that is within 3%, and that's currently 2 minutes 14.2 seconds. Now that's likely to change as more and more people run this track. How much more it will drop, I don't know. And we've got 10 days to run before the actual award. So although I've got silver at the moment, that might change, although I'm well over a second within the time. So hopefully that is fairly safe. But online, a lot of the YouTubers will say that the gold is really easy to get. I have to say that I don't necessarily agree, and that's what this video is all about. Now, before we actually get into my best lap and my thoughts on why I'm only silver and not gold, I just want to talk very quickly about how I used to go about preparing for these. Now, initially when I was playing the game, I never used to play online in the sport mode, not online with other racers. So what I would often do is to go to the circuit experience, and I would then go to Europe where the track is. I'd find the Nürburgring. I'd then come down to the arcade race. Well, first of all, I'd go through the circuit experience just to go through each section to learn the way to drive the actual track. Then I'd go across to the arcade race, and I'd run an arcade race so that I was racing with other people and try and work out where they're slow, where the overtaking places are. Now the error in my ways of doing that is that when you're playing against the AI, even if you've got it set to professional, it's so much easier than playing real world online. So a friend of mine told me the better way of doing it, and Rory Alexander has put a really good video out at the moment that I would suggest that you go and watch, and I will link to it in the description below, and you can see it sort of running on the screen now. But what he does is he will load one of the better ghost cars and then watch that car going around the track, and he looks at all of the braking points, etc. Now, I've studied that and I've watched for the braking points that Rory talks about, but there's so much more to a race, to setting a very fast lap time, than just where to brake. You've got to think about how you're getting the power down, the lines that you're taking through the corners, how you're going to get the maximum amount of speed out of the corners. Now, some of that is to do with braking, but there's a whole lot more to it. So for me, being Mr. Average, hitting gold is quite a challenge, and we'll come to that in just a moment. So if you don't actually want to sit and watch Rory's video, if I just go select from garage, I'm going to pick up my own car, the one that I have on the screen at the moment. When we go into the game, you can go to the ranking board and you can look at your friends. Now, your friends might share the video, but if they haven't, much like I've got here, you can go to the global ranking, and quite a lot of people will set their own videos, and they can go to the very top. So you can look at the top person here, and you can actually watch their video. You can load their ghost, which is what you're going to do, and put the ghost on in front of you. Now I should say that when I set this time, my 15.5, I was about 9,000th in the world, and I've slipped to 14,000 as people have been working. And what I tend to do is I just R1 to go across, and I normally try and find a video around about the 500 mark. Now, it's a bit difficult because when you get down to here, not everybody posts a video, but I could load that ghost, and that's a much slower time, so it will give me a ghost that I can chase, or I'll load my own ghost. But let's get in and have a look and see my fastest lap that I have recorded. So we picked this up just before the end of the lap before, and I'm just trying to get a nice run on this corner. I've got my ghost car already in front of us, so we're going to be chasing it, and remember that's 0.07 seconds ahead. So if we can get close to that, we will be reducing the time. My current lap time is a 2:15.682. That's what we're looking to beat. And already into the first corner, we were a tenth up, we just lost that. Picking that back up again as we go through this corner. And what I'm trying to do at the moment is try and make the apexes a little bit better, carry a little bit more speed through and over the corner, and just try and build on everything that we're doing, while also keeping an eye on the ghost car. So you're watching the ghost car, plus you're also watching for your braking pins, plus you're thinking about your braking line, etc. And sometimes I will turn off the ghost car just so that I can concentrate on the lap. Now, just to help me, I have put these little markers on. They're one of the assists. I don't use the braking area because that just slows you down. I don't use the racing line because, again, I tend to find that slows you down as well. And it's also more on the screen for your brain to process when you've got enough going on. So I tend to run with the smallest number of assists that I can. I'm obviously running on manual brakes. The traction control I've gone at 1 just to give it a little bit of balance and just a little bit of stability. So at this point we are 7/10 up on our lap time, so feeling pretty good. I went a little bit deep into that corner. As you can see, I did it much better the time before, and again this is where consistency comes in. So we're losing time. We're now down to 0.2 of a second, so I know that I've got a lot more time that I can make up through that corner, but we did manage to get a better exit, so we are making some time up down the straight. Annoyingly not enough, so we bury the brake pedal, turn that in, get it over these curbs, and then we are racing towards the line. Again we're still blue, which is good, so running against my best time so far, which is a 2:16.4. And as we come around the end of this lap, then we did actually manage to get a 2:15.5, which I was really pleased about. So let me just rewind that a second, and I'll just take you through the lap time a little bit more on the lines and the driving and where I think I'm going along where I'm going. So again, we're on this last corner. Sometimes when I'm doing this for the first time, I'll drift a little bit wider to get more speed down here, but I was actually going for the fastest lap, so we kept that one tight. We go across the start and finishing line, and already I'm thinking about the braking zone, which is around about 150 metre board. Now some people will brake on that where the tarmac changes, but I'm going for the 150 metre board, getting it turned down and then trying to just get this turned into that corner so that we don't drift too wide. I could have gone a little bit wider there, which would have given me a little bit more. I've made a tighter line on that curve, which is better, and we've actually got a blue triangle now to say that that was better, but I could still do better there. Reasonably happy with apex in that curve, and this one I want to really run over that right hand area there, so I really need to be taking that tighter. This is a drag straight away down to this corner. I am looking for the split escape road, so bury the brake pedal, get it down to third gear. Looking for the apex again, I'm using these yellow markers. This is a second gear corner, so when you get a turn down, I needed to be much further over on the left hand side there, so again, more time lost. We then have got to drag down to this next spawn, and unfortunately I'm losing time here. We've got the red triangle, so we've got some time to make up. If I got that over a little bit more and come out of that corner before, that would have been a better drag. So second gear through there, we then get it up into third gear. Sometimes I'll go up into fourth here and then down into third, but it's more about getting the car balanced so we can get the apex on the left, get across that green strip on the right, get it back out onto the green strip on the left there, and therefore we're making up a nice sort of time. Bury it at the 100-meter board or just before. Probably the 100-meter board was a little bit too late there, so I did miss my braking point slightly, which then upset me for this corner. So I'm at the middle of the track, not really carrying as much speed as I would have liked down here. Then we get over this curve. So this is another of the racing lines where you can really make up some good time. And we're braking just on the area where that tarmac changed colour. Just taking a little bit of the curve, not too much on the way out. I tend to find if I take too much, then I tend to bounce the car. And then we're looking for this little green patch of grass, get it turned in, and then it's a straight drag to the line. Now I haven't spoken too much about the braking points because Rory does that so much better than I do. So go and have a look at his video. Again, I will link to that in my video below. It really is a great video to watch. And if you do look at his video, then please subscribe to his channel and hit a thumbs up. It really is worthwhile. So I'll just pause this video for a moment, because if you remember, I was talking about some of the top players in the world saying how easy it is to get that 2 million credits. Well, I rate myself around about a driver rating B, so middle average-ish, somewhere around there, much like a lot of you will be out there. And you'll see the mileometer on this car, 342 miles. Now, I bought this car specifically to do this trial at 0 mileage, bought it brand new, 0 mileage. So I could actually see how many miles, how many laps I'm going to need to do to get gold. Now, if you watch Rory's video, he'll go through the tutorial, he'll then do a lap, and he pretty much does it straight away. Now, I don't know whether he's edited that video and he's done 2 or 3 runs beforehand, but he's obviously got gold pretty quickly. Whereas at my level, I am running and running and running this lap to try and get a decent time. Now, I've got bronze really easily. I've got silver relatively easily, but to try and get gold is really, really difficult. And I think what you need to do is to keep in the mindset of, are you doing this as a challenge to get gold in this challenge? Or are you trying to get the 2 million credits? Because if you're trying to get the 2 million credits, then watch my other video, which I'll link to in the description, which talks about grinding using the Le Mans 24-hour map, because that's a guaranteed 825,000 credits for 30 minutes running. Whereas with this, the mindset I really need to get into is getting a silver medal on a difficult track like this and taking the 1 million credits and then go and grind rather than trying to shoot for the 2 million. But of course, this is a time trial, it's a challenge, and I'm going to try and get gold on this track. And we'll see how that goes over the next week or so. Or I might get bored in the meantime, but we'll see how it goes. And I may well do an update to this video if I can hit gold. In the meantime, that's this one done. If you like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, then please consider subscribing, because it all helps and it's helping me to grow this brand new channel. In the meantime, stay well, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.